Hey everybody, welcome to Squid Saibot Gaming. Today we have Euclidean for you, developed by Alpha Wave Entertainment and published by AAD Productions. Euclidean is an Oculus Rift game, and today we're going to be playing it without the Oculus Rift because I do not have $600. And it's also not released yet, so my impressions aren't going to be wholly accurate of what this game is going to be like and what it's going to play like, because it does rely heavily on the idea that you're wearing an Oculus Rift and you're immersed in this world and this setting. And from what I played, I can imagine it's going to be a pretty decent Oculus Rift game. So, about the game, Euclidean is a Greek term for higher dimension, and it is also used to describe geometry, or a form of their geometry, and it relates to the game in the sense that you're traversing through an alternate dimension, and the enemies are geographic horrors, as the game describes. The game's not the most intuitive. When you start the game, you start here and you're facing the moon. As you notice, the moon starts coming towards you, and it's a pretty freaking cool way of starting the game. If you look away, it fades away. But your first instinct when the game starts is you're gonna start, and you're not even gonna be paying attention to that. Maybe you will be if you have the Oculus Rift. Who knows? But you're going to whip around. You're going to see, like, stage select. These are the stages that I've gotten to. And as you can see here, these are grayed out. So when you start the game, all these are going to be grayed out. And if you do what I did, I came to the stage select, and I was trying to click on these. And I was like, all right, what do I do? Options, okay. Quit. Oh, what do you want from me? And you see the painting, and the painting kind of directs you to stare up at the moon, and it's a pretty cool way of starting the game, I must admit, and I can only imagine it getting even cooler in Oculus Rift, but we're gonna look away quickly. That takes you to the first level, and we're gonna go back there. The option settings are pretty minimal. You just have, varying degrees of graphics quality, maximum resolution, different resolutions, crosshair body, VSync, just really standard options here. And also, for some reason, my game was on the nightmarish difficulty. Don't quite know why that was. I probably picked it, honestly, because I'm so used to just picking the hardest difficulty and going into it. And I will say, this game is freaking hard, and it does a really mediocre job of explaining itself to you. So, we'll start. Level 1 is really simple. It is basically falling with style. And here you're going to see, the core gameplay of Euclidean. Phase through creatures, press E, dodge with the WASD. Everything here will kill you. It really does. Heed that warning. Everything will kill you. So you can use the WASDs to kind of like guide your character as he falls. I turned on the volume so you can kind of hear me talk, that you are not supposed to be here. It's said with a pretty satisfyingly creepy voice. It's like, you are not supposed to be here. And the guy who voiced that did a pretty damn good job, because it's actually terrifying. And the game kind of feeds off your primitive fears of open spaces, drowning, monsters. Like, I can imagine it being a pretty creepy experience in Oculus Rift, but it certainly loses some of that immediacy not being inside Oculus Rift. Like, you're not facing this right up in front of your eyeballs. You got kind of a distance from the horror and the sense of, like, being in water. But I can imagine it being pretty cool in Oculus Rift. The sense of falling is going to be there. The creatures get real close to your face if they don't kill you. And basically what you do is you're falling, and if you see that blinking thing over there, you're trying to get to that. In every stage, you're trying to get to this, like, blinking light, and you're falling, you're dodging enemies, and basically what you gotta do is you gotta time your phase. You'll hit E, and the world kind of shifts around you. You can phase through. Your guy turns red. That means he can't use phase again until it recharges, and it'll turn blue when he recharges, and he can phase again. So you want to just kind of guide your character slowly but surely into this ball of light, this seizure-inducing light, and that ends the stage. And stage 1 is nothing compared to the other stages. It's just a very, very, very light tutorial. I will say you hit the ground running by stage 2, where I died like 40-something times before I got the hang of it and was able to traverse the stage 3. And stage 3 looks like even more of a nightmare. But the game has an initially steep learning curve as you kind of figure out when exactly to use the phase, how long the recharge time is, and what the phase move also does is it lets you see the enemy's traversal patterns, and you can time that by hitting phase just as an enemy is going to go through you and kill you, and then looking around and seeing, you know, what the enemy's patterns are. We're going to do that quickly. Hit phase. So you see those streaks? Those are enemies' traversal patterns, and you just want to kind of stay out of them. And the game does a pretty bad job of explaining that to you, because it only tells you certain things in the tip menu when you die. So you'll die a few times, and then you finally get the tip that tells you, hey, you can use phase, so look at their patterns. Which, I mean, I guess if you're an incredibly intuitive gamer, damn it. You're probably going to watch me die 100 times trying to beat this. If you're a really intuitive gamer, you might be able to figure out that's exactly what those streaks are, but trust me, I like to think of myself as an intuitive gamer, and it wasn't clear to me what I was doing. I'm like, alright, I'm phasing. What am I doing? Okay, I'm dying, because without the phase, without being able to see where they're going, like, you can't see shit. You're just kind of looking around, trying to anticipate where enemies are going to go. If they're behind you, you're looking one way, and there's an enemy behind you. And it's pretty difficult, to be honest. But getting the hang of it, you begin to figure out the nuances of the game and the enemies and how they travel. Certain enemies have certain patterns, and it becomes a bit like a puzzle game. At first, I was more frustrated by the game than I was enjoying it, and then as I started to pick up the nuances of like what the game wanted me to do, I got better, and I started to enjoy the game for what it was. Visually, it's pretty spectacular. Haven't really seen a game that looks quite like this, and I can only imagine it looks even better in Oculus Rift. The story is interesting enough. Why are you here? What does it mean? Who's the voice speaking to you? It's compelling enough to push you through the stages and try to make sense of the world. And I will say, I'm only on stage 3, and excuse me, more of the story has been revealed to me. And it seems like there's going to be, you know, a solid narrative thread pulling you through. How solid? I'll let you know my final impressions. But up until this point, it looks pretty boring, but that's because I finally got the hang of it, and I can navigate myself in a way that I don't get my ass completely handed to me. But you're basically just trying to get to the bottom of the chasm on every level, trying to find that seizure-inducing light. And that will end the stage, and this one looks like a walk in the park now, but man, the first time you play this, you just die and die and die and die and die. But here we go, there's where I need to go. You're just kind of falling ever so slowly towards your goal. It's like you have a parachute that's, oh my god, I might miss it. If you miss this, you die. Oh, thank god. Like, if I just fell and didn't hit the light, that's game over, and you gotta do it again. But I'll show you level 3. Level 3, you really get to see the game open up a bit more, and see some of its more interesting designs. So I'm gonna stop talking here and just kind of play, turn up the sounds for you, because the sound is pretty good. It's this pulsating, insidious soundtrack that just lends itself to the sense of dread. You also have to rely on your heartbeat to kind of determine where enemies are. Makes you really feel like you're underwater. It's cool. I'll keep it going for you. You can hear the voice. Attempt 2. Yeah, baby. I'm coming to that light. Yeehaw! Ain't no one gonna stop me. But yeah, you definitely just start to get the hang of it. I mean, it looks like it's easy, but I'm telling you, it's not when you're trying to figure out what you gotta do. Alright, we'll leave it here. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. And tell me what you think of Euclidean. Once again, this game is developed by Alpha Wave Entertainment, published by AAD Productions, and you can buy it on Steam for $4. Honestly, if you're curious, it's so ridiculously cheap that it's the price of coffee. You can't go wrong. And I gotta say, I got $4 of enjoyment out of it so far. So once again, thank you. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Thumb it up if you liked it. Thumb it down if you don't like it. And feedback and constructive criticism is always welcome. Thank you very much.